right, we got to get that fixed, obviously,
You just
because
you just had to get the one last time.
one,
One last
one,
time, you just
one
had to get
last
that one in
time.
there.
I thought we got that fixed. Oh my god, I am so sorry. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Horns Forward podcast. It's just going to be the mariachi right here today, along with my co-host, Mr. Eggplant himself, Big Daddy BD. Um, yeah, it's been a while, and really, I we didn't announce anything that we're gonna have a show or anything like that because I really didn't feel like it, and quite frankly, I just want to fuck around with everybody and bullshit. Uh, Today there's going to be cussing on the show because we do what we want, and a lot of beer drinking too because I'm home alone and I can do that on a Monday. Oh yeah, good way to start. You got the good stuff today.
Oh yeah, that's right,
I'm gonna have to go restock this weekend at Alamo because I'm running low on my supply.
dude. Me too. Got to get ready for tailgate
Oh
season, man.
yeah, absolutely. Which, speaking of tailgate season, it's getting close. We are less than 3 weeks away, everybody, from the start of the season, and it's going to be a breakfast game for the first one. So get ready for some mimosas, and I'm still going to be drinking beer because that's just the way that I do things. But yeah, get ready for breakfast. And big shout out to our new friends out in Utah, in St. George, Utah, who are starting up a little Brahmas herd out there. And I can't wait to send them some merch and some gear to pass out there. Oh, we already got the whole skull. Man, bro, NFL is over. Like, none of this skull stuff, my guy. Come on now. Um, but yeah, I hope you like cheese, Rob. Anyways, but yeah, tailgate is less than 3 weeks away. As always, everyone is welcome to join. Just look for the sombrero, like I always say. And we'll be serving up breakfast, tacos, mimosas, beers, all the good stuff. And we'll be out there early. I mean, the game is what, 11 a.m. our time, which means gates open.
Is it that early for us, or is it a noon
Well,
tip
it's
for
noon
us?
east. It's noon
Oh,
Eastern, which makes it 11 for us. Which means they open up the doors to the Alamo Dome um, at 9:30.
at
9:30,
nine. Yeah.
because it's an hour and a half before kickoff, which means 4 hours before that. So if that's the case, we're gonna be out there at 5:30 a.m. cooking breakfast tacos. So Taco Cat,
That's right.
uh, my assumption as of right now, the gates will be open to tailgate at 5:30 a.m. if they follow the same rules that they followed last year. Um, so be ready to get there bright and early if you're hungry, and definitely come hungry because we're gonna have plenty of food. And I mean, also it's Easter. I mean, why not? My, if you can get up early to go to church, might as well go to the Church of Football at the Alamo Dome. You know,
You can have a sunrise tailgate.
that's right. Yeah, I mean, why not? Why not? I mean, that's what I'm looking forward to. Let's see. What area will be the best spot to tailgate? Well, typically Lot B is the most popular one. That's probably where we're going to be set up ourselves. So you are welcome to come and join us. You can set up with us. You can set up next to us. You can just show up and eat, drink, be happy because we always give away our stuff and you're welcome to just come and hang out, man, because it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a year's worth of, well, more than a year at this point, worth of anticipation of kickoff. Because I mean, I keep getting those Facebook reminders of everything that happened last year, and I'm just like, yo, hey, like I kind of miss this. I miss this. But yeah,
Yeah.
we will have a flyer up with all of the, as Jackie says here, we will have a flyer with all of the details for the first tailgate. Like I said, everybody's welcome to come out and hang out with us and just have a good time. I mean, that's really what it's all about. We're all here to support the team. But I know the team is excited to know that there's a big excitement in San Antonio. I feel like it's a lot more exciting than what we had last year. There's more media coverage. There's an established fan base versus just people who were saying, "Is this another Commanders? This Commanders 2.0?"
Yeah.
Like this, like we have
or even man, it's a fan base that we've spent a year getting to know each other, So
yeah,
that first game was like, all right, who are these people? Okay, we'll go hang out. We'll kind of start to meet them, but we've had a year with all these fans, so like you've been saying, this is a family reunion, so.
exactly. Yeah, that's what I really wanted to be, is just a bunch of hugs and a bunch of, hey man, it's good to see you again. Even if you're a Vikings fan, I'll give you a hug, like, because that don't matter no more.
Right.
But yeah, no, I mean, we're really looking forward to it. I mean, I've been looking forward to it. Uh, you know, this is the one time of year where I genuinely get an excitement like a little kid that I have not felt for a long time, and I'm just super excited. That's really the only way I can put it. Is getting out there, getting back in the Alamo Dome. Every time we've gone back for anything, ever since I went back for the Pigskin Classic from KSAT back in August, and I mean, I got excited just being back in the building around football, like, and that's high school football, and I was just like, I wanted it to come already. And we have a first timer that's going to be joining us, Taco Cat here. Hey, my guy, this is your first of many, I hope, because trust me, once you get your taste of the first tailgate, you're going to want to come back for more and more and more. The tailgating's half the fun of the game. I mean,
Exactly.
The game is great. Don't get me wrong, the game is great, but everything leading up to the game, oh man, if it was anything like last year, it's going to be a hell of a time. BD can tell you.
Oh yeah. Oh man, it's a blast. Like I said, just everybody hanging out. I mean, all just big group of family members, man.
Yeah, and I know there's a lot that has been going on. We finally got the roster cuts. We're not going to dive too deep into them because we want to have the whole crew here ready to talk about them. But obviously, we have the roster cuts. Some of them were a little bit heartbreaking. Our good friend Mike Brown, Oos Juice, was waived, and Drew Beasley, who I was really looking forward to seeing, behead some quarterbacks, also got waived, and the special teams battle. That was, I think, one of the ones that a lot of people had their eye on, and we all know who made the cut. Just hope for the best. I hope for the best for Destroying. I know he has been documenting his journey to the NFL, and I hope that he really does get his shot and showcases what his leg, is made of when the time comes. And I know people who are Texans fans that are also Brahmas fans are probably relieved when they saw that Matt Amendola was not going to be our kicker, just from their experiences with him. But I do wish him the best and hope he finds a spot on a new team where he is able to just flourish and hopefully get back into the NFL. I mean, he is at the end of the day, he was a kicker with NFL starting experience. So, I wish him the best of luck and wherever he goes. I think Anthony Becht from the St. Louis Battlehawks, the head coach from them, put it, the best as far as, yesterday was the shittiest day to be a head coach when you had to make the cuts. And I can't imagine being in that position where you have to, get the playbook from guys, and that there's guys that deserve to be out on the field. But, that's kind of the drawback to this merger, is that, we have the best of both leagues. And so, you have to elevate your game even more so than you had last year, because otherwise it would have, this league just got a lot more competitive. I really believe the slogan that they came out with at the very beginning, spring just got stronger. I think with the roster cuts that we saw and the names that were on those lists, I
Yeah.
really believe that that is true. That is very true.
I mean,
Um,
even like, we're all kind of heartbroken that Beasley didn't make the cut because of just how good he was for us last year. But just that's got to tell you, like, how good is this defense going to be if
yeah,
Beasley didn't make the cut?
right.
So, I mean, that's like that's it sucks because yeah, he was probably,
He
one
was
of
a
my
fan
top three
favorite.
favorite players,
Yeah,
and he, so but it gets me excited for what's going to be out on the field since he's not going to be there. Like, who beat him out?
right. Exactly. Like who was that? Who was that good
Yeah,
that like
yeah,
Drew Beasley's out here beheading quarterbacks. This whoever beat him out's probably just ripping them in half. Like you
yeah.
know,
Like, Beasley didn't get cut because he sucks. He got cut because somebody beat him out. So
yeah, exactly, exactly. That's the best way to put it. Like I don't think that there are any players that got cut because they suck. It's because it's like you said, there was someone better than them,
yeah,
and that's I think we're really going to see an elevated level of play this year, and people are going to be surprised. And the thing is that one of the things that I've noticed over the last year and even last season, as the season progressed, one of the things that people really kind of latched onto was the infectiousness that the fan bases really put out there. And I think once people got their first taste, and I saw this firsthand because I had so many people that I invited that they got their first taste and they're like, I want to come back. I can't wait for it
yeah,
to come back. It was late in the season, so there wasn't very many opportunities for them to come back. But now that there's a new season, like I can tell you, I've been working hard on trying to get the word out. And like we said, we got the fan group in Utah that's starting up. We got a fan that reached out from Wisconsin that is a Brahmas fan. I got a little group of fans that's starting up something in Ohio. And I'm surprised because they have St. Louis and Michigan right there, but they chose us. And we got from our friends over. Well, I'm included in that, but from the Vamos Brahma podcast, we have about, as of right now, about 40 plus and growing numbers that are coming over to watch the first game from Mexico. So we will have an international audience there, and I think that those numbers are only going to grow as the quality of this league really shows. And
yeah,
that's going to be something that's really incredible, and something that I'm going to be really proud of is that as we get people like I hate to use the phrase America's team, but I think so many people and so many teams are so focused on their markets, and understandably so. You want to grow in your market, absolutely. But I really like, other than fans that maybe lost their teams, I haven't really seen a lot of outreach from a fan base to other places that don't have any presence or representation, saying, "Hey, come join us. Come be one of our fans. Like come be part of our familia." And that's been something that I've been really working hard on. Through social media, through Reddit, through all sorts of different forums, and I'm glad to see that it's starting to really flourish, and we're starting to see that growth, and that San Antonio Brahmas isn't just confined to San Antonio. It's really starting to take over all of South Texas. It's leaking into Mexico. It's going into other states. It's going nationwide. It's going international. And so I'm just really excited about what this upcoming season holds, and I know, like, with having Destroying on the team, he's gonna bring a huge following of people who want to see him play. I mean, 5 million YouTube subscribers. That's not nothing to like ignore. Like, let's be real. There's going to be people that are going to travel from all parts of the country because they want to see him play. And to that, I say, welcome. You
Come
know,
on.
like
We got plenty of tacos and beer for y'all.
like yes, we want to definitely make sure you can see your boy Destroying play, but we also want to make sure that you experience the genuine hospitality that San Antonio became known for last year during the tailgates, and really get the full experience other than just I want to see D kick, um, and that's something that anyone who's out there who's wanting to come out for Destroying, I invite you to also come out to the tailgates. Come out a little bit early, and engage with the fans, meet the people who are the locals here in San Antonio. If you're coming from out of state or outside the area, and I guarantee you're going to want to come back for some more. This has really become something special for a lot of us, and we're, like I said, the excitement is just building even more. Especially, I mean, I was really surprised. I don't know if any other team or any other market had a presence or a media presence at their training camp. Like San Antonio sent the local ABC affiliate KSAT out there to do
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, so San Antonio had KSAT sent out a reporter to cover training camp, interview players. They had interviews with Dormandy. I know that was one of the interviews that they had. Interviews with the coaching staff. And
what? I might have seen that. They're the ones. Didn't they show like a segment with like the VR headsets and all that?
Yeah, that was part of it. That was part of the coverage.
I saw that, but
yeah. So I mean, there was and granted, of course, it's easy for someone from Texas, a station from Texas, to go up to Arlington for a weekend or for a few days and get some coverage versus someone from like DC or St. Louis or Birmingham or Michigan, where it's really far away. It's a lot easier for that, but still, I mean, to just know that there is that local media push, that's something that's also very exciting for us.
it is, and it's something that we were lacking last year. I think we talked about it before. It seemed like a lot of the fans as well, and even the media was, we're going to be kind of hands off this year. We've been burned before, but now year two coming back in, like the media is even more engaged, which I'm so happy about, because it is a way to market it to a big broad number of people across the city. There's still a ton of people that watch the freaking news at 10 o'clock and stuff. So
yeah, no, absolutely, and I think that plus increased social media presence, and just I feel like there's definitely been a lot more marketing than already just in the short period leading up to the season versus what we had last season. So there's already been a big step forward in that regard. I think Fox has been doing a really good job at leading the charge of making sure that there's TV coverage, TV announcements, making sure that people are excited for this or getting excited for it, and really understand what this league is about. Because I think that's something that, I mean, I still see it in the comments. People are saying this is minor league football, this isn't the NFL, yada yada yada. But the way that I describe it is like, if you have a college football team that you get passionate about, because I think college football fans are a lot more passionate than NFL fans.
Definitely.
In general. I mean, you have a personal connection to a school, especially if you went there, versus an NFL team that obviously you didn't play for, you didn't work for. Like, it's a different connection. But I think here it kind of blends the best of both worlds, because the passion of the fans really connects well with like what you would expect from a college atmosphere. And then you have the professionalism and the level of play that you would see. Like these are former and upcoming NFL level prospects that are
Yeah.
trying to get their shot in the league. So, you kind of have the best of both worlds. So I wouldn't necessarily go around calling it minor league football. I mean, these guys, like I said, Matt Amendola was the kicker for the Texans for quite some time. And
Yeah. Our,
like
I
I said,
mean, our tight end played for the Broncos. We just signed
yeah,
a defensive back that played for the Cowboys. So like, we've been talking about it a bunch of times. There's NFL talent on these teams.
yeah,
Whether something happened and they had to take a step back, or they got beat out by a spot. There's the caliber of talent is at the NFL level. So
yeah, no, and that's something that I think a lot of people don't realize just yet. Um, and I think that they're expecting to see like a glorified college game or a glorified high school game,
yeah,
and um, I think they're going to be in for a big surprise when they see the on field product and the on field talent, showing off what they can do. And I mean, just looking at the clips on social media, and I get that it's practice and all that stuff, but I know there was a lot of questions over the past weekend that I saw on various forums, on Reddit, Facebook, etc., about what was the score to the scrimmages and who won the scrimmages. And the thing is that there wasn't a score to be kept. The way scrimmages work, it's like it's not a score. They're not playing a full on game
yeah.
before the season. That's too much risk for injury. This was basically a glorified practice with another team to
They were just
go.
running plays against teams that weren't familiar with the plays that were being ran. They were trying it out against different schemes, different systems, stuff like that. So
Yeah, and I saw, 7-on-7 drills. I saw pass rushing drills. I saw Oklahoma drills. And then I saw a couple, there was some live 11-on-11 action, but it was really just a matter of, um, like we put the ball on the 25 or on the 20, and you run a red zone offense and try to score, and that's
yeah,
really all that the scrimmage was. So there really wasn't a score, there really wasn't a who won who lost kind of thing. It really just was like um, just a glorified practice with another team, which I think is good because you can only practice against yourself so much
yep.
before you need to practice against another team at some point, even in training camp. And I think that was a good litmus test to see against another team. It helped the coaches make the right decisions as to, okay, who's going to perform good, like who performed good against their own team versus who performed great against another team.
Right. Yeah,
Um,
because like I said, not every team's running the same schemes. They're not running the same plays. So
right.
it's yeah, you practice against one scheme for, the last couple of weeks. It's nice to kind of mix it up and see something else, to see who's good at adapting to it, what do they need to work on.
Yeah, and like XFL Mike G here says, people that expect a steep drop off in talent will be surprised, and I absolutely agree with that, because the thing is that it's one of those things where, like I mentioned, we have NFL caliber talent and NFL prospects that maybe were overlooked, um, and that's it's what you saw last year. Expect an elevated version of that this year. Now, as far as is there a watch party yet for Saturday games? I would imagine that the team is going to be partnering with local bars and restaurants in the area. I can almost promise you, although I can't speak on their behalf, that there likely will be something going on at Alamo Beer for
Yeah.
every away game that's on a Saturday or Sunday. I know that I will personally not be at any of those because my plan is to be at the games themselves,
Yep.
minus the Houston game, unfortunately. But I would imagine that there is going to be something going on, and we can. I feel like Alamo Beer is all reliable for us, and I think that's a great spot to host. It's right by the Alamo Dome. they sell this amazing, delicious elixir of the gods, and I think that that's kind of going to be a good spot to go to. But I would imagine that I know that there's other like bar partners and restaurant partners that the Brahmas have that they've been working on, in the off season. So I would imagine that there's going to be multiple spots because I know that, San Antonio obviously is a big city and it's not always easy for everybody to get downtown, unless it's to the Alamo Dome. But, like, Smoke and Perry's Pizza. Perry's has multiple locations, especially out, in the 1604 Northwest Side area. And their pizza's delicious. So there's that. But as far as the March 30th game, that's the kickoff. I don't know that there's anything planned as far as getting together. But that doesn't mean we can't plan something. We can't just, we can work with, we can
show up and make our own watch party.
Yeah, we can figure something out. I mean, I don't think we can do it in the Alamo Dome parking lot, unfortunately, and start tailgating a day early. But I'm sure.
We got trucks. We can pop a curb,
But I think the Alamo Dome might frown upon that, But
kills.
We can ask local businesses who see who would host us. I'm sure Smoke would be interested. Alamo might be interested, and see, if there's a XFL or UFL watch party. And
I still catch myself doing that same thing all the time too, man.
Yeah, I mean it's hard. You're so used to saying XFL all the time, and we're in the XFL conference. Although, I'm just gonna put it out there. I do hope that the USFL destroys and stomps on. I hope the Stallions stomp on the Renegades and put them in their place. I'm not an XFL homer. I like my team. I like our team. But when it comes to the Renegades, good days for me is when they lose. So giddy up. But I like the Brahma Dome. That's what we're gonna name it this year. It's gonna be loud. It's gonna be loud. It's I think a lot of people that just look at pure numbers, and I'm calling out St. Louis on this obviously because they can tout their 40,000 fans, but with the fans that we had last year and the decibel levels that I recorded, to be able to get at or around 120 decibels, which is the equivalent of a jet engine inside the Alamo Dome with the number of fans that we had. Like I think teams, especially teams that aren't familiar with the XFL, are going to be very surprised at how difficult it is to play inside of the Alamo Dome and how raucous of a crowd that really shows up, because it gets loud. And that's coming from the stands. And remember, with it being a dome, it all goes down into the field. So like Coach Wade said, when we're on offense, keep it down. When we're on defense, let's make that offense of theirs get false starts, and let's make it to where they can't hear each other.
We're just gonna have to save that clip. I feel like we might be needing to use it a few different times throughout the season.
Yeah, and hopefully
after the first couple of games, that they'll learn.
But I'm also hopefully the Alamo Dome plays along and doesn't wait until week 10 to put the quiet offense at work sign up on the Jumbotron, because that was really important. That was really critical. And that was something that was super, super important and a big debate last season that, look, if you're gonna do the wave, I don't care. I'm gonna put it out there right now. If you want to do the wave, do the goddamn wave. I don't give a rat's ass.
Defense.
but do it on defense,
On
or do it on a timeout, or do it at halftime. Like, I do not care. Like, do not go around calling me the wave police and all this and that. Will I be participating in the wave? No, I don't, because I think it's dumb. But if you all want to do the wave, go do the wave. Like, go balls out on the wave, but do it at the right time. Do it when the offense is not on the field, our offense, because so many people, I already know the argument, but these are professional players. They shouldn't be distracted by it. You're humans. Humans will be distracted by something like that, especially when it's tens of thousands of people doing it all at once. Humans are going to be distracted by that, regardless if you're a professional or not. Like, it's just human nature. And
yes, they should be able to run their plays and call their coverages with the crowd making noise. But as the home team, why would you want to make it harder for your team?
Oh, see, and then we got one of our own right here. Hey, James, if the opposing team is receiving the ball, by all means, go start the wave. But if we're receiving the ball, we ask kindly that you please keep it down. Oh, man. But yeah, no, as far as the wave, y'all go wild with the wave. Do what you want. You paid your ticket. Go do it. Just don't
be quiet when the offense is on the field.
It's that simple.
Just
don't mess with our offense. All right. I don't care if you say they're professionals and they should be used to it and all that stuff. No. You keep it down.
Make it easy for them. That is that simple. Yeah, they can do it, but let's make it easy for them.
Yeah, poor James. Yeah, he can't even see the game. That's true. They're gonna have him running around, left and right, and James, I feel like you're gonna be like in marathon shape by the end of the season, by the amount that you're gonna be running around and the amount of steps you'll be putting in every week at the games, my man. Because let's give a shout out to the hardest worker in the room. James Carr II. He is by far one of the hardest workers in that front office, and we love him. We love him to death, and we're very fortunate to have James as a representative of the team, because I don't know what we do without him. Everyone should aspire to be a James, and if you don't have a James on your team, you're missing out. I'm just gonna put it out there.
And if you don't have a James on your team, be the James on your team.
Exactly. That goes for all the ticket reps, for all the other teams. If you don't have a James, be a James. And that was my plug for James Carr II, because he is boss. But yeah, no, I mean, so now's the time. Get in, get ready for the season. Get your tickets while they're hot. If you want to, it's a little life hack here. If you want to avoid the Ticketmaster fees, call the box office directly and buy it from them. But if you want to pay Ticketmaster and give them their cut, then you have the Ticketmaster app to use. But single game tickets are on sale, of course. But I mean, honestly, if I were y'all, if this is something that you really think that you want to invest in, really consider doing season tickets, because it is, in my opinion, absolutely worth it. The amount of memories and fun that you'll have with this is it's one of those things that you'll never forget. I mean, I have my son that I can't drive past the Alamo Dome without him saying "Horns forward," and he's he just turned 4 years old, and he sees me wearing stuff like this, anything with this logo. Ask him, what is it? I mean, he doesn't know. Like, he can't say Brahmas, so he says horns forward. And they yeah, it's just like from the youth all the way to the adults. Like I said, it for me personally, it invigorated a love of the sport that I had lost for many years since I played the game. But yeah, I try it out for the first game if you're unsure. But if I guarantee you, you're gonna love it. And if you want to buy season tickets, well, then go see our man James Carr right here.
Yeah, and like you just said it, man. Come to the first game. Come to one game. I mean, that's what Moose said in our kickoff thing. Come to a game and check it out. I mean, you're going to be hooked. You're going to want to come back.
Exactly. And so Jason asked, why did they release Beasley? We actually covered this a little bit earlier, Jason. And while we don't know the specifics of what happened in the locker room and then on the practice field and all that stuff and in training camp, but what we can honestly say is that they didn't release Beasley because he sucks. Because that he does not. Let's be real. He doesn't. But whoever is in his place was just a little bit better than him, I guess. And so it really makes us think, how dominant and how strong is this defense going to be if Drew Beasley got cut?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because he got like I said, he didn't get cut because he sucks. He got cut because there was someone better. Like the saying goes, there's always that one person who's going to be better than you. Now, that doesn't mean that Beasley's gone for good, because injuries happen. They can call him up and say, hey, Drew, we need you back. And before you know it, he's suiting up, and, we don't know. That's the way football works. No, Mike, I don't want a USFL team to pick him up. Don't put that bad juju on him. I want him to come back home to us, if he gets the opportunity to do so.
But if he has to play in the league, I agree. I don't want a Beasley with a chip on his shoulder playing us twice a year.
Oh, man. I'd still throw on my sombrero, though, because I love the guy. Do we think that The Rock will be there for the first game? I actually do not.
I think so.
So The Rock's involvement this year, I mean, the man is a busy man. He is on the board of TKO Holdings, who now holds the WWE. He is actively involved in WWE programming. I think his focus, and with WrestleMania coming up, I think that is where his focus is going to be for the immediate future. I also have not seen him as active on social media about the UFL versus, people like Danny Garcia and Moose Johnston. And I haven't seen him as involved, but I don't think it's because he doesn't want to be involved. I just think he's such a busy person. He can only be one place at one time, and I think right now, because he is a board member of TKO Holdings and he's actively involved in the WWE again, for the biggest show of the year, I don't think he's going to be at any of the games. He may come to later games in the season after he's done, but who knows?
I'm gonna agree with Jackie there. I think he shows up to the first game, the Arlington Birmingham, but I think that's the only one he shows up to that weekend. I don't think he'll go to like all the arenas and cities like he did last year, but I think he shows up to the first one.
Maybe. I mean, I honestly, it's hard to say, but I honestly think that it's with his involvement right now and in the WWE and how busy he is there. I think
it's kind of a different game, because that is the first major game against the two leagues. So I think they'll have everybody that was a part of both leagues that are a part of the new one. I think everybody's going to be at that one.
Now, if he does show up, I would hope that he does the "let's ball out, baby." start it like it's always been started. But then I don't want the USFL people to be like, hey, that's an XFL thing, you know. But it, at this point, we're all one. We're all one family.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Now, there is a couple things that I want to address as far as just I've seen as the season gets closer, um, especially on social media, fans have started to get a little bit out of control with the way that they've been engaging with other fan bases. And I'm not saying that this is particular to the Brahmas, just in general, from what I've seen. And like, yes, friendly rivalries are great. Rivalries make the sport fun. But I've seen attacks get personal. And I think it's hey, y'all, like, let's tone it down a little bit. Let's not get personal. Let's not attack anybody individually. Let's not cross any boundaries or cross any lines. Like, let's be civil here, because at the end of the day, we all want this league to succeed and have its longevity. Rivalries aside,
Yeah.
I think we need to kind of just bring it down a little bit and just remember, hey, yes, we have our teams. Yes, we all hate Arlington, but like, let's not attack people personally. Let's not attack a specific fan or a group of fans. Like, let's just be civil about it and remember that, yes, even though we have our team, at the end of the day, everybody's been wanting expansion. And the only way we're going to do that is by making sure that we all work together as different fan bases to make sure that we grow this beast and do it organically. Because, I mean, they said it in the town halls, the league needs our help, as fans. They need us to be able to do our part as well. And that includes putting stuff out, being civil towards each other. Like, yes, friendly banter, going back and forth, going against, fan bases as a whole, teams as a whole. Like, that's great. But don't attack individual people. Don't start, doing personal attacks like that. That goes beyond what this is all about, and it just ruins the fun of the game. So I'm asking and begging people, like, hey, let's remember to be civil with each other, and let's not be attacking anybody individually. Like, if you want to go attack a fan base, if you want to go attack a team, that's great. Go ahead and do that. You see me do that all the time with Arlington, but like, I'm not attacking any one individual person or one individual group of fans. Like, there's a way to go about it, and like, let's just remember to be civil with each other. At the end of the day, we're all friends. We're all one UFL family, and this is what sets us apart from other leagues, arena leagues, NFL. Like, I don't know about you, BD, but here in this league, I don't feel like I'm just a number like I would in the NFL. In the NFL.
Oh, absolutely not, man. And like you said, I mean, there's a big difference between fan friendly banter, fan rivalries, just kind of messing with each other, and just, I mean, for no words, just being a douchebag. Like, you start attacking people individually, and you start crossing boundaries and stuff. You're just a douchebag at that point. So
like, and I say this really referencing one of the attacks that I saw of people getting attacked personally were our friends from Houston, the Predator couple, which was uncalled for and unnecessary, in my opinion. Like, leave them alone, please. Like, if you want to talk trash about a fan base, do it about the entire Roughnecks fan base, but don't attack a specific group of people individually.
Especially, and I saw the attacks you're talking about, especially incorrectly attack them, claiming they're saying stuff and doing stuff they never did.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, and this is coming from a rival fan base who's not even in the same conference anymore. Like Come on, people. Let's be civil. Let's
Yeah.
be civil. Now, Brian asked a good question here. With Under Armour being the official partner, do we expect their stores to carry product? And I honestly, I do not think that the Under Armour stores themselves will carry product. If they do, maybe locally, like an Under Armour store in San Antonio, an Under Armour store in St. Louis, etc. But I really think that it's going to be mainly on the at the stadiums, at the games themselves. They'll have their merch table set up, which, remember, your season ticket holder discount does not apply at the stadiums. So if you're a season ticket holder and you want merch, buy it online. And But I don't think that the league is at the point yet where they can be in stores. Maybe at Dick's Sporting Goods.
Yeah, that's what we had last year, and I think all the other, like the cities, each city, the local Dick's store had,
yeah,
the merch for that team there.
But I don't know that they would carry Under Armour merch at the specific stores. Maybe, I could be wrong. I don't know, but the best bet would probably be Dick's Sporting Goods. But for their Under Armour merch, I think it's going to be exclusively online, in my opinion, just because that's such a special partnership and a very unique partnership. And honestly, I really don't know that they're going to have a lot of merch available in stores this year, because the official partner of the UFL this year for merch outside of Under Armour is Breaking Tees, which I have ordered a shirt from them already. And they're exclusively an online retailer. So I think if they are going to have things in the store, it's got to make sure that Breaking Tees is okay with it, that Under Armour is okay with it. And I just think that that's just a lot of logistics, because everyone's going to have their cut, and what's going to be left for the UFL. You got to pay Under Armour their cut. You got to pay Dick's Sporting Goods their cut. And then, what profit is left after that? Unless they raise the prices to the point where they're unaffordable so that everybody can make a profit. But then who's buying merch because it's so expensive,
I imagine that'll probably be a, couple of years down the line. Once there's a legitimate demand for it, then they'll probably, think about maybe moving them into stores and stuff.
Yeah, I think that that's going to be something that Under Armour is going to be monitoring this year and seeing, how much did they sell? How much merch did they move? And if it's something that they see that there's a demand for, then yeah, I can probably see them putting, merch, maybe even in the second half of the season, if they see that the merch is moving well.
Yeah.
Like, it may not be out of the realm of possibility that we see merch in the stores late in the season. So, that's a possibility. But at the very beginning, at least, especially because if you look now at the UFL's shop, they're not going to be shipping out Under Armour orders until after March 25th. So you're probably not even going to get your Under Armour merch by the first game, unless you're lucky. I think there'll be a few people who are, but ultimately, I don't think that that's going to be the case. I think, it'll be in transit still. So, but yes, you were right. Dick's did carry merchandise in 2020 and 2023, but it was not Under Armour branded merch. It was the league branded merch. And because there is no more league branded merch, the official merch partner is Breaking Tees. And they are exclusively an online retailer. That's where the whole where does Dick's Sporting Goods fit into this kind of comes into question. It's yet to be seen. I don't know. The question is the only answer we can give to that question is we just gotta wait and see.
We'll see.
Yeah, we just gotta wait and see. I mean, that's the one thing that if there's one thing that we've learned going through the merger and going through the schedule release and going through all this, is we just gotta be patient. Which I know for us UFL fans, myself included, that's a difficult thing to do.
Yep.
Like, let's be real, it's difficult. It's a difficult thing to do. I mean, I've even looked at the Under Armour website on the Under Armour app to see if I can find any UFL gear. There is none to be found. The closest thing that I found was Project Rock gear. So not even Under Armour online is selling it. It's really only being sold via the UFL shop. So there's also that to kind of think about as far as, are they going to be in stores or not? So your son is. I like this, Jason. All in.
Yep.
All the way from Oregon.
That's awesome.
I love it. Hey, Jason. Hey, we need your help to start. Get a little herd going in Oregon. We got it in Utah. We got Ohio. We got Wisconsin. Now we need Oregon. All the Sea Dragons fans that need a home. I've seen so many people say, well, the closest team to me geographically is going to be Arlington or San Antonio. And trust me, you don't want to be an Arlington fan. They don't want you to join them. They don't want you there either. Like we do. We would welcome you. But, Arlington doesn't want you there. Let's be real. Come on now. And I love this. Brahmas is his life for the past 3 weeks. Same, my friend. Same. Yeah. It has been like nonstop. I am just getting more and more excited about it every day as it gets closer.
Dude, ever since that kickoff, man, I've been ready to go.
Yeah.
Every weekend I've been like, man, why can't we have a game this weekend? Why can't we have a game, man? Oh God, I want to go.
Yeah, it's and Jason, if you'd like a little gift from the podcast, just something, just because we love our out of state fans. Message Jackie right here. She is our coordinator, organizer. If we would be lost without her, so shoot her a message or shoot the podcast page a message, and we'll send your son a little something from the podcast, and just a little gift from us to you. But yes, as were we, Jason. When we saw that they released Beasley, I think the ones that really hurt us were Beasley and Mike Brown, their offensive tackle. He was a good friend of the show. We interviewed him a couple times in the offseason, and he was super excited to be coming back to the Brahmas and to see his name getting on the waived list. That was a heartbreaker for us because we love
him, man.
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
And again, it wasn't because he sucks. The level of talent is just going to be ridiculous this year, and I think that that's something that people will start soon to start seeing. Bobby, that's a fair assessment. It's I don't know if it's the worst of the teams because the teams are all literally the same, just with their logo on there. But I personally was looking for stuff that was more similar to what the players had last year, which was more Project Rock based. The way that I kind of described it in our little group chat is that the Under Armour gear that they released is like a weekend warrior dad type gear, and less so the let's work out hard in the gym type gear. And I was expecting that let's work hard, like hardest worker in the room type gear, the stuff that the players are wearing, the shorts and the training shirts and all the stuff, the hoodies, the black hoodies, like those are awesome that I've seen on social media. But they have been slowly rolling out gear throughout the season. And I think that this is just the first batch of gear that they put out. And as the season progresses, there might be more gear that comes out. Or this could just be a litmus test to see Under Armour testing the waters to see how much they really want to invest in putting out gear for the fans. Because I can understand from Under Armour's point of view, like if we're going to make this gear and put it out and make it by the masses, we don't want to be at a point at the end of the season where we're having to sell it for 70% off because nobody bought it, you know?
And to be fair, most of San Antonio is going to be the weekend dad look anyways. I mean, I wear the hardest working athlete. People are just going to call me a liar. So.
But yeah, no, I mean, the hats are definitely different than what the team has. I mean, we have a fan hat. I will say that the hats that Under Armour put out, in my personal opinion, are an upgrade from what we got last year. But I personally like New Era hats. And so I know the USFL had New Era hats that they had for their teams. So maybe there might be some crossover there. I don't know. That's a whole other like contract thing there. But we were constantly asking for Under Armour gear last year during the XFL season. We did get something, so it's better than not having anything at all. But I would say, they have been slowly rolling things out as the season gets closer. So I would say just wait and be patient, and maybe there might be some more gear coming out. Who knows? But keep your chin up. Like it's every team got the same template of gear. It really just comes down to, do you like the logo or not?
And like you said, as the league progresses, as it gets more popular, I mean, they'll end up releasing more stuff if the want is there for it. So,
right, yep, and as far as the beer coming back, so other teams, there's only one other team that had a beer, and that was the Orlando Guardians, and I know that because I met the brewery owner that made the Orlando Guardians beer, who had to drink this delicious beer because they lost to us both times. And Alamo Beer had a bet with the owner of the brewery from Orlando. Now, as far as other beers, I know St. Louis has the Beehawk Live beer that's not officially affiliated with the team, but
I just saw something the other day that was I don't know if it was an official Battlehawks beer. I'm actually kind of looking for it right now. But it was something. It was a beer for the team.
So I know with their sponsorship with the Wild Sun Brewery.
That's the Beehawk Live one.
That's the Beehawk Live one, but I personally haven't seen a beer for any other team that's team specific, officially affiliated with the team the way that we have ours here. I think we may be the only ones at this point that have our own beer. I'm surprised that DC hasn't made a beer given their beer snake, but hey, I think they're happy with plastic cups and lemons. So hey, whatever keeps them happy, But yeah, so yeah, those were the only teams. I didn't see any other teams have beer or licensed beer like we did with our Alamo Golden Ale here. So and unfortunately, since the Orlando Guardians aren't coming back, I think we may be the only ones this year. So yeah, to all the other fans that are in opposing cities, we will definitely be bringing some with us and sharing in the gloriousness that is Brahma beer for all y'all. So Memphis, be ready. Your little showboats. You can drown that out with some of this in the parking lot, assuming that you guys tailgate. I don't know. I really don't know the tailgate situation for the other cities because Arlington did a little bit of a tailgate. Houston, they said they had a tailgate, but I showed up and it was an empty parking lot. So maybe I was in the wrong lot. I don't know. St. Louis, I know they do tailgates. Washington, they don't do tailgates because there is no space to do tailgates, but they all gather together at the local pubs around Audi Field. And then as far as the USFL teams, I honestly do not know. And that's an interesting question. We'll find out when we're going to Memphis. We'll find out when we get there. As far as Birmingham,
Well, I'm
I also don't
hoping
know.
that Memphis is going to have a pretty good one because that's actually where our friends that we met at the barbecue cook-off thing that Jay and I went to a few weeks ago. They're from Memphis, so if they're not
Okay.
doing something there, I'm going to be real disappointed.
Well, I mean, we'll see. I mean, it's also a matter of does the stadium have space and capacity to be able to do so? I mean, I don't know the specific areas of the stadiums. I just know what fans have told me. And and especially like with Houston now moving to Rice away from TDECU, I don't know the space situation there at at Rice University as far as spots for tailgating. I also know that they got to be able to comply by campus rules. I don't know if they have specific rules about that, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, when we get there, I'll of course, when y'all get to Houston, I unfortunately will be on a boat with Mickey Mouse.
Yep, and like I said, I'm gonna have to miss the DC game, so that y'all have fun with that. I wish I was going to that one.
That one, yeah,
My,
that's one that I'm looking forward to. I think
my
that's
wife won't let us take an anniversary trip over to DC. So
hey, you know what? I asked. You already know how the conversation with me went when I asked about um, the going to Houston and then flying to Fort Lauderdale after the game.
oh yeah, my conversation went about the same way. So.
Yeah, so I love you, baby, and it's okay. Houston. Y'all have fun in Houston. Sorry I won't be there this year, Houston. And I don't. I mean, they're probably not watching, but those guys that I sat with last year that were giving me tequila shots while I was in the stadium with them, you guys are awesome. I love you guys. So, I hope you guys are at the game again. And if you are at the game again, give this man over here some tequila shots.
There you go. Well, be looking for the group that has the cutout of this guy right here. So, yeah.
If you guys seriously take a cutout of me, I'm gonna be like, oh my god, like they didn't actually do it. But the cool thing is that the week after that game, we play at home in Arlington, and I will also be celebrating my birthday because my birthday will have fallen in the middle of that week on the 16th. The game is on the 19th, and it's against Arlington. So, of course, I'm going to celebrate, my birthday against the team that I dislike the most, especially when it's here at home. So yeah, everybody's invited to my birthday party again this year. I don't know that I'll have mariachis. We'll see. But if not, we're going to have a hell of a time. That'll be for sure. But I guess we'll end it off here with this last comment here from Jason that the UFL is going to be a success and the sky is the limit. And I agree with you 100%, my friend. It's I think at the tailgate, or not the tailgate, at the town hall, Moose Johnson put it best. He said they're really trying to grow this league into something that's viable and that the NFL takes seriously as a recruiting tool outside of what the NCAA offers. And honestly, they want to get to the point where, like, they don't need, like, we don't need I take that back. Yes, we do need the NFL because these players need to have a goal to aspire to, and obviously, we're never going to beat the NFL. The NFL is a king. They're a monopoly. Like they are untouchable. But we can be a league that the NFL absolutely needs, and that's something that no other league has been able to achieve. And they saw the success that came from players that had full seasons under their belt. This past spring, we saw Alex Magoo with the Packers. We saw Dan Whelan punting for the Packers. We saw, a bunch of players join practice squads. And there was a lot of USFL and XFL talent, both on the field and in the practice squads. And, they really did, the owners and the coaches and all that really did have a lot of high praises to sing about what these players brought to training camp, because they noticed that the players that came out of the USFL and XFL were in much better game conditioning shape
Oh,
than the
absolutely.
players who weren't, and just went in through a regular off season, which made a huge difference. And so that kind of harkens back to what I said that about Moose Johnson said, is that this is going to be a league that the NFL is going to look forward to receiving players, and they will absolutely need the UFL, and will want the UFL to survive. And we see them looking at ways that they're changing the rules based off of things that were tried in the UFL. So we may be the guinea pigs for them, and then they implement it in the NFL, kind of like the XFL kickoff last year. I mean, it sounds like, based off of speculation from guys like Adam Schefter and the big names, Ian Rappaport, that the NFL is seriously considering and likely going to pass a vote to adopt an altered version of the XFL kickoff rules from last season. So.
Which would be absolutely hilarious if the NFL goes to it and the UFL decides, now we're going to scrap that. We like the USFL version. So that's funny to me.
I think it's going to be something that it's going to mold and change, as the seasons progress and all that stuff. But like Bobby says here, we definitely do not need to be worried on expansion right now. We need to make sure that we get people's eyes on the TV, get the ratings up, get people's butts in the seats. Like you said, we need more than one St. Louis. We need to fill it out. And I think as much as I understand people's frustrations that they wanted all 16 teams, but we got to crawl before we can walk. Yep. And we've seen how much spring football in the past has gone too far, too fast. They flew too close to the sun. They crashed and burned, and ultimately we were left with nothing. And I don't want that to happen to this league. I think the way that they're going about it, slow and steady. You remember, this is year number 3, even though this is year 2 of XFL. This is year 3 total of spring football. USFL, this is their 3rd year in operation. The XFL, this is their 2nd year in operation, which is the first time that they've ever been able to do that. So in total, we have 3 years of spring football that has happened. So I don't see why we cannot keep this continuing and growing. And instead of cannibalizing each other, like they said, they've now joined forces, and they are one, and they are not competing with each other anymore. So, I see a lot of good things to come this season, and we'll see how it plays out. Just again, remember, be civil to everybody as we get closer to the season. Don't attack people personally. Don't go overboard. Rivalries are great, but hey, man, let's keep it civil. So, but that's all I got. I'm gonna finish my beer.
I'm already done. So
you beat me to it. So, well, everybody, it's been awesome hanging out with y'all. Next week we'll have the full crew back with us. We'll break down the roster cuts. We'll be at that point.
We got the final cut in 4 days? I think they said it's on the 15th.
Yeah, so, and it'll be 2 weeks until the season starts at that point. So we'll be that much closer. We'll have more details on the tailgates. Hopefully by then we'll have some information on parking passes and all that good stuff. Get ready, because it's going to be here before you know it. The end of the
20
month,
days away.
It's already March 11th. And before you know it, it'll be March 31st, and we'll be packing the dome. So I'm looking forward to seeing everybody again. And free breakfast, tacos, and beer and mimosas on March 31st. No better way to start Easter than in the
Dude,
parking lot of the
we're gonna have
Alamo Dome.
tacos, we're gonna have mimosas, and we're gonna have a bunch of these. So come on out and join us.
There you go. So, all right, everybody. So we'll leave you with that. And with that being said, we'll end it like we always do. Horns forward, y'all. We'll see y'all next week.
See you guys.